Hey, hi, hello. I made about 90% of my Christmas presents this year and I'm going to share them with you. I made a Pinterest board with every single item that I made and I'm going to show you, and that board will have each item and you just click it and it will send you to either the link to purchase the pattern or the free pattern, because a lot of these are free patterns, which we love. Now I will separate this video into two categories, the first being the functional, I call them, items, and then saving the really cute amigurumis for last because they're just so precious and I love them. Now I will tell you about the difficulty level on each and whether it was free or not free. By the way, I taught myself to learn how to crochet 6 months ago. So I'm not an expert or anything, but I fully believe that if you watch tutorials on YouTube or anything, you can learn and pick it up pretty fast. Like, there's so many patterns and projects you can do that are very beginner friendly or just basic intermediate. I don't know what I would classify myself as because I'm just a very quick learner, especially with anything crafty or hands-on. I just pick it up really fast. But all of these were very doable for someone who only has 6 months experience. So take that as you will. Okay, so first I could start with the very basic thing that I recommend literally anyone to do, but I'm gonna start with the weirdest one first. A squished rat bookmark. You put him in the book and it looks like his eyes are bulging out and he got squished. This is the silliest thing I've made and I love it. This is a free pattern and the person who made it has other animals as well that if you want some other squished animal in your book. But it's just a really silly and functional gift that is just great. I mean, look at him. Look at that face. This is pretty beginner friendly. The hardest part on this is sewing on the details and the fingers. I really have to try and work fast on this so I don't lose my light. Next is the very easy beginner friendly thing that literally anyone can do, and there's an endless amount of options, but coasters. I made these sunflower coasters. I made 4 of them. This is a free pattern, very easy to work up. I also made these little bear coasters. These are the cutest things ever. I love them so much, and the hardest part on these is sewing the details on where you can't see it on the back. I also made these coasters, which are very similar to these, but these have a rib around the edge that is a little different and the petals are a little different. But what's special about these ones is it comes with a little basket. There's hair. My hair is all over everything. I'm sorry. There's a little basket and you can just plop these guys in here and it looks like a little flower basket. Is that not just really cute? It's a cute way to store them when you're not using them. All of these are pretty beginner friendly. Actually, no, all of these are beginner friendly. These two do have the picot stitches. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, which I did have to look up how to do. That's the most difficult stitch involved in these, but once you figure it out, these are not hard to make. Okay, next up I have some hats that I made. I have a friend who is obsessed with the pom-pom hats, but since she's obsessed, she has 100 different pom-pom hats, so I wanted to try to make this a little different and special and unique. So I chose a pattern that had this crazy ribbing cross-stitch diagonal diamond weave over the top. I don't know what you would even call this, but this is probably one of the more difficult items that I made, which is funny because beanies are a very easy item to make. I just happened to choose the most difficult pattern. Yay me. I did have to block this item, which means I had to submerge it in hot water for a while to try to get it to stretch out some because it just came out really tight. And fingers crossed that this fits her, guys. I really hope, because this took a lot. This is a free pattern. I very much recommend watching the video that comes along with it because it is difficult. The next hat I made is this cute little grunge bunny hat, I'm calling it. I tried to make it super grunge with like safety pins and I added like these little piercing rings on it and then these eyes, and I used a much thinner cotton for this one so it's not as fluffy as the other hat. You can obviously personalize this however you want. You can add whatever. I saw that people were adding bows here. That would be cute too if you want a more cutesy vibe. This is also a free pattern on YouTube, and this is a very easy pattern to make. I will say for hats, it is very important to stitch loosely because sizing is very, very crucial for wearable items. And especially when you're making for other people and you're not entirely sure what their size is, I would very much lean towards making it a little loose than too tight. Blocking helps stretch like a little bit here and there, but keep that in mind when you make wearable items. Right, next I made this book sleeve where I wanted to gift a book to my friend and I wanted to make it cuter than just giving her a book. This was a free tutorial that I followed. However, I modified this quite a bit for my own personal use. The pattern was just the cover with the back. That's what the pattern was. However, I added this flap on the front to hook around, and then I also added this flap in the back with this chain in front so that it could adjust to any size book. The one she made just had it where it kind of hooked over the corners, which it's cute, but it makes it where you really can't pick up the book or do anything with the book because it'll just unhook and come off. I wanted this to be where you could actually like maybe have it on there while you read. So that's why I adjusted it, and I also wanted it to fit multiple size books, like thickness and everything. This was not difficult. The difficult part was me figuring out how to adjust it, but even that was very simple and straightforward. I'm gonna say cute way too much in this video, especially when we get to the plushies. Oh, I need to get some thesaurus out and learn some new words. Okay. Also, let me know if you've read this book. I got the Heaven's Official Blessing for her, and I got like this special edition, which is really pretty, which doesn't need to be covered up, but it's just the book that I'm giving her, so it's covered. I have done all free patterns so far, I'm pretty sure, which is crazy, but here's another free pattern. These little trinket trays. They're just so small. They're so small and adorable. I love them. You can do either a Soot Sprite or Kirby. This is a free pattern. These are pretty easy to work up. The only thing I would say, my microphone keeps cutting off and I hope I switched it out. Hopefully this one stays on. It's driving me crazy. For the Soot Sprite, I chose this black, fuzzy, hard type yarn because I wanted it to look like the Soot Sprite. So I will say that was very difficult. Because it was black and had all these strings sticking out, I could not see a single stitch. So I was doing it all by feel, and I am 110% positive I missed stitches and miscounted. But since he's just a round ball, as long as there's no big hole in him sticking out, it doesn't really matter. It works out. It's fine. He's just a ball. It was so worth it. Despite all the struggle I had with this yarn sucks so bad. But it was worth it because it's perfect. It looks very much like a Soot Sprite. This yarn is very Soot Sprite coated, and I think that's what its intentional purpose was, because you cannot convince me this was made for any other reason, because who would use this yarn? It sucks. This would also be really adorable. Trying not to say cute, guys. I'm trying so hard. If you put little candies in it when you gave it to someone, that would be really appropriate. This next item is the only non-functional item I have, but it's just flowers. Just a vase of flowers. You can make whatever kind of flowers you want. I chose tulips. Tulips are a very easy flower to work up for beginners. And you can do whatever color you want. I chose blue because the person I'm giving to them has a blue theme in their house. I thrifted the vase. This is also a free pattern. I'm pretty sure every single item has been free. Okay, these next two items are the two items that are not crochet. I did some cross stitch as well, and I'm going to include it because they're still fiber arts, so I'm including it. This is my video. I can do what I want. This Lore Olympus cross stitch, this Lore Olympus cross stitch tapestry. Oh my god, that's hard to say. This is actually my own pattern that I made and designed. This took over a month to make. Yeah. Cross stitch is really easy, but very tedious and time consuming. I painted the clouds on this and then everything else is stitched in. I have some videos that I'll post of the process of me making this, especially like how I attached the tops. These are actually chopsticks, if you can believe it. I have a little tutorial of how I like attached the top sticks to make it look nice and flush. I will link my pattern for this. If you do purchase it, I greatly appreciate that. All the support means a lot to me, and it makes me able to continue making the vast quantity of ideas that I have to make. So I really appreciate any and all support I get. This came out really good. I will never do it again because it took so long. I made a little Loki keychain. He's cross-stitch, he has a front, and he has a little butt. It is just a cross-stitch, pretty straightforward. I just made two sides and glued them together with felt and then used thread around the border. It's Loki. So much cat hair. All these people are getting cat hair as an extra bonus gift. I'm just saying. I don't really know what to say about this other than that. So there's Loki. It's time for the plushies. The real reason we're all here, because who doesn't want to crochet to learn how to make cute amigurumi plushies? That's the only reason you crochet. I swear by it. They're the cutest things in the world, and you get to be like, I freaking made that. I made that. We're just gonna start with this guy. We can't not start with Totoro. Look at this massive chonkin baby. He is so freaking stinking cute. I'm sorry, he gets all the cute. He deserves all the cute. I love him. I am making myself one of these. I need him in my life. I'm gonna be so sad when he's no longer in my home. Look at his tail. Look at him. He can stand. He can stand up on his own because his tail just helps him. And he's This is a pattern to purchase. This is not a free pattern, but I will tell you, the pattern for this is the most beautifully intricate, well done pattern I have ever seen. It's like 30 pages or something. Actually, it might be more than that. It's a lot of pages. It's very detailed. I believe there's even video tutorials for each step to help. Like, it's very well done. I give so many kudos to the person who made this pattern. And it's the best Totoro I've ever seen. There are a lot of Totoro patterns out there, but this one I can vouch for how good this pattern comes out. It's the perfect shape for Totoro. And he's so cute. It even comes with a leaf option you can put on his head. I didn't do that. I might do it. I don't know. I didn't have green at the time. I would say this is a pretty beginner-friendly pattern. It doesn't involve a lot of crazy weird stitches. I'm pretty sure it's all single crochet. And it's no-sew. This is a no-sew pattern. If you can believe it. The only sewing is the little triangles on his belly, but that's easy. That's nothing. Oh, and his whiskers. All these pieces are attached to him. The ears too, like everything. I cannot praise this pattern enough. This is such a good pattern. I love him so much. I'm so glad I have this pattern forever and I can just make all the cute Totoros, and he is everything. He is life. He is the reason for being. Look at this guy. Now this one is kind of not really a new pattern. I just made that little trinket tray sprite without the trinket tray into a keychain. It's the same exact pattern, just a complete ball, if that makes sense. And I just added the little star chain on the top and then the star clasp to be like the star candies for him. And he's just so precious. And it's perfect. I'm telling you, this yarn was made for Sit Sprites and nothing else. Next, I made this little snake. There are a lot of snake patterns online. This is the most beginner-friendly pattern ever, I swear. And I made a white one because the person I'm giving it to has a white snake. So this is supposed to be like that snake. But you could use whatever colors you want, obviously. But he's really cute. I will say, as you start to do it, it will be very straight and you'll be scared that it won't be bendable. But the longer you go, the more flexible it is. I went as long as I had yarn. So when my yarn ran out, I stopped. That's what I did. It's a little pretzel. Neck. Now this one is probably my most proudest creation I've ever made. But I made Sackboy. He's Sackboy. This is spot on Sackboy. And look, he has the little fingers. He's so cute. And his belly opens and you can put something inside. He looks exactly like Sackboy and I want to cry. Like, I'm so proud of him, I almost don't want to give him away. Now, he is one of the more difficult items. He is very difficult to make. Anyone who crochets knows that these tiny little fingers and hands very hard. The sewing of the pouch on the inside, pretty hard. This is also a pattern to purchase. The pattern for this was very detailed and very useful and beautifully done. I highly recommend it. I'm legit so proud of him. He's just so perfect. He is literally Sackboy. I mean, it helps that Sackboy is a crochet character, but you can't tell me this is not Sackboy. He came out so perfect. Like, why is it so good? Why are plushies so amazing to make? I feel like I want to keep talking about him because he's so perfect and good and I'm so proud of him, but I don't know what else I would say. Oh, by the way, at the end of this, comment below like which item was your favorite and especially which plushie is your favorite because I cannot choose. I love this guy and Totoro so much. They came out so perfect. They are definitely the top two that are vying for #1 position. I can't choose. You guys let me know which one came out the best. Next up I have Puppycat from, oh god, what is it? The Puppycat anime show. God, I don't know the name of it. I have not watched the show. This is for a friend who's obsessed with this character, so I made it for her. I actually made this like first. This is like the first thing I made. So about this, there is no pattern that I followed for this. I used a Cinnamaroll pattern. I know this is not Cinnamaroll, but I used a free Cinnamaroll pattern that I will link that pattern because I do want to make that one too because it's Cinnamaroll. But I used that because the body was the shape that I wanted. So I used that for literally the body and the head shape, but I just changed the ears and I changed the tail and then I added this collar on top and then the eyebrows. It is free, but it's also not an actual pattern I can share with you because I just freehanded half of it. So yeah, this is kind of free. There are Puppycat patterns you can easily find and purchase to make, but I just freehanded him because he's just a cat. So once I had the body shape down, it wasn't really hard to figure out the rest. So yeah, Puppycat. What is that show called? Oh my god, it's something in Puppycat. That's gonna bug me. We are almost to the end, guys. I got 2 more. Next is Oogie Boogie. His freaking head came out so perfect. It is sewed down, so it stays in that sack shape. But little Oogie Boogie. Honestly, doing the stitching on him was the funnest part. I used felt that I sewed on with thread, but then I also went in with this thicker thread around the border to make it look like that stitched on look that he has, to make him look more tattered looking, because the neat look didn't look right to me, so I had to make him look a little more tattered. This was also a pattern to purchase, a very easy and straightforward pattern, not hard at all single crochet. I do have a really cute idea to pack him that I will insert to show you. I'm going to put him in the box with like the crinkle paper, and I'm gonna put some little fake bugs in there with him because he's Oogie Boogie. He needs his bugs, and I wish I had thought about it sooner so I could have got like a pack of like an assorted variety of fake bugs like at the post-Halloween sale or something, but I didn't think about it soon enough, so I missed out on that. But I did have a very random Coquette Alistair party that we did, so I had these roaches with little bows on them, so they will do. They will do. He just needs some kind of bugs in the box with him, and I think it's a really cute way to wrap him up. So let me know what you think about that, because I think it's just the cutest idea for wrapping. Oogie Boogie. He's very Christmas coded, okay? He's Christmas. Okay, the very last item is Grr. And this one is actually a free pattern. I made this one before I made my Sackboy pattern, which if I hadn't, I would have made his zipper functional like that because the body is very similar. But I made this one first, so I didn't know how to do that yet. So this zipper is just hot glued on. It's stitched on and hot glued on. This pattern is a little more intermediate to do because it involves a lot of sewing. I don't know what else to say. I'm having trouble figuring out what to say for these. It's just a plushie. That's what it is. It's a plushie. This is a free pattern. It's a plushie. It's intermediate. That's all I got for you. Well, that's everything. I hope I didn't forget anything. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment below. We'll chat up a storm in the comments. I love responding to you guys. By the way, if you made it this far in the video, you are required by law to comment your favorite item. I don't make the rules. I'm just conveying them to you guys. I don't want you guys to get in trouble. So comment your favorite item. If you don't do it, the plushie gets it. And we don't want that to happen. Please save him. He's too cute to be hurt. Save him. Anywho, have a happy, jolly, Merry Christmas or whatever you're celebrating. I'm going to dissolve in a puddle of crochet cuteness now. Luca, can you tell the lovely people that this is the end of the video? You are whining to come in here to be included, and now you're not even going to speak? You are a terrible co-host, sir.